conduct our keeper chat and our two striped hyenas. Over on the left-hand side is Imara, she's our female. On the right-hand side is Kani, he's our male. They are a mated pair, so they've had cubs together successfully in the past. And one of those cubs is currently at a zoo in Arizona. And hyenas are super cool in that they're one of the rare cases with mammals where the females are actually larger than the males. Kani weighs 74 pounds, Imara weighs 95 pounds, and they
don't look that big.
Oh, well, that's because you're seeing them from a distance. Yeah, their weight range usually is between 45 pounds to 120 pounds. And there are 4 hyena species in order from biggest to smallest. They are the spotted hyenas, the brown hyenas, the striped hyenas like Kani and Imara here at Utica Zoo, and the aardwolf, which is a tiny relative native to like Tanzania, East African countries that eat almost exclusively termites. And striped hyenas, their range, they are native to North Africa, and their range extends to the Middle East and Asia, where they often find themselves competing with other carnivores like leopards, lions, or maybe even tigers and like wolves and bears and other hyena species like the spotted hyena in certain areas. There's a misconception like spotted hyenas are native to like the sub-Saharan like African savannas, where that species competes way more with lions than striped hyenas do. Well, they compete with humans too, but in terms of like natural predators, they have no natural predators. They just fight with other carnivores over the same like prey and territory and resources. And there's a misconception with hyenas that they are dogs. Hyenas are not dogs. Hyenas belong in a family of their own called Hyenidae. Like I said, there's 4 species of hyenas, the largest being the spotted hyena, smallest being the aardwolf. And their closest relatives are actually mongooses and civets. They're other like smaller like carnivorous animals that are native to like Africa and Asia. And they're actually more related to cats. Any cat owners here? Alright, yeah, well they're actually more related to your guys' cats and even their lion neighbors, Koki, Donovan, and Murphy, than they are to like dogs or bears or other like carnivorous groups. Striped hyenas were used to thought to be a solitary species. But as a matter of fact, recent studies have shown them like traveling in small groups in the wild, usually in pairs. They're one of the few mammals that actually mates monogamously, not like other carnivores like lions that like one male will have multiple mates. These guys prefer to like travel in pairs, or usually it'll be like a female with like a few other males and like many pups. Like I said, hyenas are a more female-dominated species. The females are larger, more aggressive, more dominant, and control the clans way more than the males do. But like these guys, social structure is not as like complex as a spotted hyenas. Those are like I said, those are the guys who usually find themselves like fighting lions over the same prey and resources. And their diet is actually the most omnivorous out of all the hyena groups. The other hyena species and other like carnivores like lions or leopards, they are something called obligate carnivores, meaning they eat almost exclusively meat. This is not the case with striped hyenas. Kani and Imara, like all healthy children should do, they eat their fair share of greens as well as their meat. Like they get cucumbers, they get sweet potatoes, they get melons, peaches in particular are their favorites.
You ever put another animal in there to feed?
Nah, they won't want to scare kids.
Nobody wants to see that, Bob.
Also, it's a frequent question. Do you ever feed the carnivores like live food? But thankfully, most zoos do not. Not only is it more dangerous and more disturbing, it's also you don't know like how much nutrients they're getting.
They go in there. Do you have water in that thing there?
Oh, their pool is not filled at the moment. They still get water inside though, right?
Yep, they get water inside their pool. We're having some hiccups with. They drink from it occasionally. They don't really go in much.
Yeah, and there's another misconception with striped hyenas. They do not make that like laughing noise that people. They don't do that super iconic like ah noise. That again, those are spotted hyenas. And also, not even spotted hyenas make that noise as much as some of you guys have been led to believe. They're like spotted hyenas are actually a lot more aligned like whooping noises, like whoop in the wild. And no two spotted hyenas make the same like whooping sound. Just like how no two humans have the same fingerprint.
This guy looks like he's listening to you.
Well, they're insanely smart.
Which ones are the ones in the lion?
Oh, those are spotted hyenas. Like,
And so let's hear your rendition of how they sound.
well, they actually don't make verbal noises
They don't?
that much. They're a lot more like they'll occasionally make sort of like a howl sometimes, similar to that of like a wolf's, but they are a lot more aligned in like body language.
Oh.
And like Kani when he's feeling threatened, He'll stick his hairs up, make himself look larger and more intimidating. And striped hyenas are an endangered species. Like I said, they compete with like other carnivores in North Africa and parts of Asia. But just like all endangered animals, the worst enemies to them have been, always will be humans. They're endangered because of habitat loss and poaching. Some people believe that their body parts are useful for traditional medicines, and like they've been known to be like trapped and poisoned by farmers. It's really important that we protect hyenas. This is still up for debate. No one's really like finalized this yet, but it's possible that striped hyenas in particular are immune to diseases like anthrax and rabies. And by doing research on their immune systems, we can possibly find a cure for humans. Not only that, but scavengers like hyenas are extremely important for the savannas because they will eat and like they have a very particular talent of like being able to just like crush and eat bones. Their bite force is 800 pounds per square inch. Like, so most other carnivores just like nibble on bones or can eat smaller bones. They can just go right up to like a buffalo carcass, just try to crash it with their teeth. So it's very useful. That's very useful for getting rid of any like disease-spreading carcasses out in the savannas that nobody else can eat. Just like how sharks are important for the oceans, they eat all the dead fishes, and how like bats and spiders and snakes save the agriculture business every year by killing all the rodents and insects that would eat our crops. Hyenas are very important in the circle of life. There's people who grew up watching movies like The Lion King and just assume that like hyenas are just like slobbery mangy idiots that are like the bad guys or the villains or the clowns or the bums of the savannah, or all they do is just eat dead animals and just laugh all the time that they're crazy. But no, hyenas are insanely smart. Like, there have been studies conducted on their other species, the spotted hyenas, that they can actually solve puzzles. They're actually better at puzzle solving than gray apes when working together in clans.
Do they get ticks?
Do they get ticks, Melanie?
They can, yeah.
Do the lions get ticks?
Pretty much anything can get ticks. It's kind of more so how susceptible they are to it. But we do some treating for things like fleas and ticks and stuff with the various species in here as well.
Like espresso collar.
Not quite the collar, but there's other medications and preventatives we can give them. Huh?
Oh, they just fall. You don't go and pick ticks up.
Generally, we don't.
Yeah.
Generally, we're not even going to see if they have a tick.
Ever had a kid try to climb over the fence?
Not that I've seen, and fingers crossed it stays that way. Because they are not pets, they are very much wild animals. We don't actually get into like the exhibit with the hyenas or touch or anything, unless it's like for medical reasons. I just really encourage you guys, please do not stigmatize animals like hyenas or wolves or sharks or bats or spiders. They're very important in their respective ecosystems, and hyenas especially, they're surprisingly affectionate and are good parents, and also Kani and Imara are super cute. So yeah, that concludes our keeper chat today. I'll stick around for a few minutes if you guys have any further questions.
Good job. First job.
Yep. Nice.
Thank you. Connie, what you doing? Forgot to mention that Connie's got like a little notch in his left ear. He's just digging sideways, silly boy. That's a man way to tell. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be doing these keeper chats at the African Ridge during, like, for the rest of the summer while I'm interning here at Utica Zoo on Sundays and Monday, like, afternoons. Have a good day.